Wild Speculations. I'm Daniel.
I'm Scott.
This week we talk about episode 43, campaign 2, In Hot Water.
Wow. Great episode.
Yeah. They seem to have super powerful episodes when they come off a break.
Yeah.
Um,
you think, because like they spent the whole, they were talking about the whole 2 weeks, they were like, you think it's just that amped up extra week of worrying and what the hell is Matt going to do to us?
Yeah, for sure. And I think they were primarily concerned with escape. I think that's where the bulk of their planning went to.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of Dodge.
Because I think, like many other watchers, they assumed if they stayed and fought it out, they were looking at a TPK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on our last show, we gave that about a 33% chance, about a third chance.
Yep.
Of happening if they stay and fight.
One of the things, I call it a win.
Okay.
In our favor, because Liam said my next action was going to be to cast Fireball.
Yeah.
And when he gained consciousness, he cast Fireball. Now, he didn't cast it into the gun deck to ignite the powder. And
it's probably good considering what happens after.
Yes. Yes. In hindsight, that was probably a good idea. But, like, Taliesin said, this is very Treasure Island. And if he would have cast it into the gun deck, it would have been closer to Cutthroat Island.
True. This whole episode, I was like, oh my gosh, we just talked about it. Oh, we said,
Yeah.
Everything from the fight ending via the guard, the planking or his men at the break, education, and leaving afterwards, calling the banishment, Yeah.
And I don't remember if we mentioned it during the show, but one of our commenters, Callista, said she thought Caleb would be the one to go down. And I think we said he would be first.
Yeah, we said if they... Yeah, we said he
were going to stick it out in the fight, that he would be first.
Although, calling Caleb as the first one down isn't really much of a wild speculation. It's more of the safe money.
No, not necessarily. Because he does a really good job of keeping himself out of danger.
Sometimes.
The situation that they were in, though, made that a little more difficult.
Yeah.
So, Matt mentioned he spent 2 hours researching the interaction of Control Water and Wall of Fire.
Yes.
I did not do that extensive a research on it. I just did a quick read of the spells, and Control Water will not put out Wall of Fire.
Okay.
By my reading. But she can control the water to go over the Wall of Fire.
Mm.
So I think Matt's plan was she was going to bring up the water over the Wall of Fire, down into his little U, and then use the whirlpool.
Okay.
And then drown them.
See, I thought she was going to try and pull them into the sea.
Oh, that too.
That's what I thought she was going to do with it. Regardless, same as in end of last campaign, even mentioned, we see that Counterspell can pay off big time.
Yeah, and I'm surprised he didn't take it sooner and prep it a little more often.
Yeah.
But there you have it. One of the things that I wanted to talk about for the combat, not have the opportunity to jump off the pier and run underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that was not an option for Sam / not because of her dislike of the water? Or do you think he didn't think about it? Because I spent a lot of time thinking about, like, because she
I'm
could have.
not sure.
That was her way out.
Yeah.
At least long enough that maybe she could have escaped. Because she just runs down, hops down underneath bonus action hide, and then she just sneaks.
Yeah. Yeah, she could have done that.
And anyone going down there to look for her would have dove into the water. And then she could have just sort of clambered up into the under of the pier.
Well, even jumping off, she's got the ring of water walking.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I don't know. It may have been that he didn't think of it. It may have been the fear of water. It may have been fear of leaving them all without her.
Yeah,
being
that's
the
true.
mother of the group, you know.
Yeah. That's true.
And if anything, I think it was a combination of the mothering and the fear of water.
How about that? We also called that they would go for the ship before the island.
Yeah.
Although we made that call before we knew that they were going to get the damaged ship, and they wouldn't, like, taking the damaged ship to the atoll is probably a bad idea.
Yeah.
So I mentioned this to you. I want to get your guys' input. I thought of a way to break down the battles.
Okay.
And do it, and basically take it from the perspective of the role-playing choices that were made. And I don't know if that's exactly what I want to do, because I don't know. That could take as long as a battle.
Or longer.
Yeah. If there's interest, maybe we'll revisit it. So let us know. Or maybe I can do that in a separate video.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. A lot of loose ends.
We open with the wall of fire.
Yep.
And it ends up going in a U due to the spacing of the minis on the boat.
Yeah.
Which Caleb seemed disappointed in at first, Liam. But it ended up
sort of working out.
With some unforeseen benefits.
Yeah. They
fucking Bo.
So many rolls in this episode.
Yeah.
Could have just sent it careening.
Well, and you know, that's why they said when Jester went in to look for the gems she had dropped and got 2 1s.
That made up for the whole episode.
That balanced out.
Yeah.
She was the Sin Eater.
Yeah, because they rolled a couple natural 20s exactly when they needed them.
Yeah. Or a 19 and a 14 for the counterspell roll. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like last night when you had me roll stealth with disadvantage because I was carrying the armored halfling and I got 2 19s.
Yeah.
So things that we learned from the fight. Ford can summon a greater demon.
Yeah. Large chunk of my notes tonight are devoted to their 7th level abilities.
Yes.
Now, you have maintained for many weeks that Ford is not lawful good. And for several of those many weeks, I put up a good fight.
Staunchly argued.
Yes.
In his favor.
I think summoning the demon is the nail in the coffin there. And I think Matt's reaction to it is, I think we could see a change.
Yeah.
My memory is hazy, but I don't remember them making a huge deal of Pike's alignment change. It was almost mentioned in passing, if memory serves.
The actual change was not a big deal, but there were
back
several moments of roleplay in her realigning herself.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So it will be interesting if that is brought up this week.
Yeah.
Should
have been brought up a long time ago. I've been saying this since the Crick episode.
But yeah. So, and I kept hearing, and I don't know if it was intentional or not, and maybe it's just because I love the film, but every time Matt said a fucking demon, all I was hearing was Azrael. From Dogma.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't hear that when I was watching, but now that you say that, it's like, once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so, and then we'll just skip around since we're on Ford. I've been saying it since he first spat up salt water.
Yep.
He needs to take Gift of the Depths.
Yep. And we got proof that
one
he
of
did
my
it.
favorite invocations for Warlock, second behind Mask of Many Faces.
Yeah.
And he took it because that's the only way a Warlock can get water breathing. And he can cast water breathing. So he now has a swim speed without the armor. He can now breathe underwater, period.
Yeah.
And he can cast water breathing once a day.
Yep. So, does he give that armor to Yasha?
No.
You don't think so?
I think the armor has some kind of significance for him.
Oh, that's right. He paid to have the enchantment transferred. I forgot about that.
And so for that reason, I think no. I think he just doubles on speed.
Yes, disregard. Yes.
But yeah, this was a very ego-boosting episode for me. There were a lot of things that I've mentioned, have been saying for weeks, said in the called in the last stream that I was just like, yes, all through the episode.
Yeah. So last episode before, we saw Jester's Dimension Door.
Yes.
She has not used Polymorph, which is her other domain spell that she gets.
Correct.
I'm hoping for a situation, and it may happen this week.
Okay.
I doubt it, but maybe. But once Not sees she has that spell, for Not to ask her, maybe to change her into a halfling. It's only an hour. It's only a short duration.
Yeah.
But I think that would be an interesting role-playing moment.
Yeah.
And I kind of want it to be with Caleb there.
Okay.
Because I think I love when Bo, Not, and Caleb are together, and I love it when Not, Caleb, and Jester are together.
Okay.
And I really want to see that happen with Caleb being there.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Evasion for Not was used for her.
Yes.
Because Matt was like, "Oh, you have evasion, so you take no damage." Sam's like, "What?"
Not used for Bo though, who also got it.
Yes. Which she hasn't used yet. She also hasn't used the Stillness of Mind. Although arguably, and this is one of the reasons why I kind of think the role-playing breakdown of the fights would be interesting.
Right.
She kind of role-played that in this fight.
Yeah.
by stopping and breathing.
Yeah.
So. Travis used Fanatical Focus.
Yeah.
To re-roll the saving throw for the Ice Storm, which is Yasha's 7th level, or it was 6th level.
Yeah.
Zealot ability. And Blight and Death Ward.
Caduceus' domain spells.
He has not used those yet either.
No.
Neither has he used Revivify yet, which was on his last.
Yeah. He hasn't needed to use Revivify.
It's true.
I'm surprised he has not used Death Ward.
Yeah.
Especially with the amount of dropping he's done.
Cast it on himself?
Yeah.
I don't think he'd do that. He has the Parapet of Wound Closure.
Okay.
I think if he thinks to do it, he'll tag Caleb with it.
Okay.
In the upcoming showdown, whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised that he didn't do it, like, real quick while they were getting ready to go down to the ship.
Yeah, well, that gets to the hand waviness of the whole sequence of getting there.
Yeah.
I thought, because Marisha mentioned, okay, this is a resource management game now.
Yeah.
And they didn't do any of that. Maybe that's tedious for them.
Yeah.
Maybe they're worried that it's not going to be good on stream. But I don't think it's not that much to say, okay, how many people can you feed with create food?
Yeah.
And water. Well, you've got the 7 of you and 6 or 7 crew.
Mm-hmm.
That's 14 people. How many spell slots is that?
Yeah.
Expend them. Caduceus, the first day that they're out, uses Divination, 4th level spell. So Matt took it in an interesting way, and this is something I keep going back and forth with on our Monday night game.
Okay.
The spell encourages the DM to describe flocks of birds, signs of omens, and you can do that. And Matt basically, as the Wild Mother, whispered in Caduceus' ear.
Yeah.
And I've been going back and forth with that in our Monday night game, where sometimes I will describe things that happened because you prayed.
Mm-hmm.
Things in the room that might change.
Yeah.
And I've also had gods come and talk to you guys.
Yeah.
It's a hard one, I think. And I think just not to confuse things, Matt just,
Mm-hmm.
the solution you have already come up with through other means, yes, that is the correct solution.
Yeah.
So, Bo drops the Cobalt Soul in the fact that she's
Expositor.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because you have the Tal'Dorei
Yes.
guide and I don't. So I'm going off of my memory of reading the segment on the Cobalt Soul. But aren't most of the monks expositors?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. In fact, most of the monks aren't even Order of the Cobalt Soul subclass. They have all the subclasses working for the Cobalt Soul. Only the expositors take that subclass. Well, mostly the expositors. There's a few others, but...
So
Being a monk
Yeah.
is the only requirement to be part of the Cobalt Soul. And that's not even a hard requirement. But
Okay.
the
Okay.
subclass.
Well, yeah, I thought all members of the subclass were expositors. That's what I'm saying.
No, there are a few that are not
Okay.
expositors.
Okay. But not excitement at that, or Sam's excitement. I don't know how you want to. Who was more excited by that?
That's the tough call.
Yeah.
A little column A, a little column B, but.
So.
Well, and they always all get excited whenever they learn a little something in character.
Backstory. Yeah.
Whether it's backstory or, I mean, they know she's an expositor, the players, but that's when the characters found out.
Yeah.
And they're like, now I can use that information.
The way they ended the Dark Toe segment left a lot of loose ends.
A lot.
Jametti
is not dealt with, and Caduceus really wants to deal with him.
Yeah. Allison. Who knows?
Who knows? And going back to our last episode and the last episode before the one we're talking about, he said trouble with you and the missus. Allison and Avantika have some kind of relationship.
Yeah.
Is she going to come after them? They were given free passage out of there, but they were not guaranteed anything beyond that.
Yeah. Well, from Allison's behavior toward Avantika, I don't think she will come for them for revenge. Vera might.
And Vera has most definitely made a point. She went from looking rough to failing the save and being unconscious.
Yes.
He made a very clear point that she was not killed.
And that Ipsis went to go tend to her.
Yes.
So, Ipsis, Vera, and Bouldergut all survived.
Yes. And definitely Bouldergut is not a fan of the Mighty Nine right now.
True. So the only question is, does the Plank King convict them with Avantika, or does he imprison them for some period to test their loyalty, or does he just piss on them? Or, okay, you have the mistake, GTFO.
Yeah.
Or the mist. So that's... I could come to get them. And depending on how long... And they spent 2 days looking.
Yeah.
So that's at least a day that the mist has to catch up to him.
Well,
which is a faster ship.
Yeah.
So...
well, I mean, yeah. There's a lot of things there that could be. Are they going to come looking for him? I mean, I don't know how loyal Vera was. I don't know if she was loyal enough. You know, we talked about this last episode.
Well, I mean, she definitely sided with Avantika against them.
Definitely sided with Avantika against them. But was it siding enough to, I'm going to seek out revenge? Or, okay, that's done. I made it out.
Maybe it depends. So, as we discussed, if she's a true believer...
She may want the orb.
She may want the orb, thinking that maybe she can become a chosen.
Yeah.
Or that if she believes that Ford is chosen, then maybe he deserves to be followed.
Yeah.
As happens with many evil aligned people. They follow the strength.
Yeah.
The Plank King and the Cobalt Soul.
Yes.
I think that's...
we talked about this the other day, and I definitely think there's more to the Plank King Cobalt Soul than you did at that time anyway. He may not be the most intelligent person himself, but he's smart enough to have surrounded himself with learned men.
Yeah.
He probably knows of them. He probably knows of the expositors or the secret,
Yeah.
the secret police, whatever you want to call them. And his tune changed quite a bit when she dropped that. His demeanor changed quite a bit.
Yeah.
Why? What connection is there?
I think they are the reason he's the Plank King.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So, as satisfying as it was, and as epic and as much enjoyment as the players got out of Avantika's death scene, is she dead? Or will she remain dead?
My first thought, as soon as it happened, first watch through, snap, Deathlock Mastermind from Morning Canaan's warlock whose patron brings them back to undeath to continue in service. She's got the bond, being the chosen one, having put the orb in, gotten that boon. Brings her back as a CR8. 10th level warlock spell casting. Grave bolts, which are freaking awesome.
Yeah.
120 foot range. Not only do you take a buttload of necrotic damage, you have to make a strength save or be restrained for up to a minute. You get to use your action to make the save every turn.
Yeah. Crazy.
And you can target up to 2 people with each one.
Yeah.
So that can whittle down the opposition relatively quickly.
Yeah. So we also, Matt narrated a storm coming.
Yes.
And Yasha feeling invigorated by it.
And used the phrase, more like herself than she has been in weeks. Weeks.
Yeah.
Now, I know we like to keep our speculation to the show and to talks.
Yep.
However, per Ashley the Johnson's Instagram story and Twitter feed, as well as Brian Wayne Foster's, she's in LA. Yeah. She was hanging out with Brian and Will Friedle and Mary McGlynn and that whole crew Thursday. Was that foreshadowing Ashley coming back for a few episodes?
I hope so.
That was my thought, because I follow her on those social media platforms. Yeah. I follow all of the cast, and I saw those come up, and I saw that, and when he said that, I was like, Ashley's coming back.
Yeah. The big, I think there were probably 2 big RP moments in the episode, and one was between Caleb and Not.
Okay.
When they were investigating Avantika's quarters.
Yeah.
Where we have Not saying, "Are you a secret agent?"
Yeah.
So I think Not might try to hitch the Not detective agency to that secret agent train. That's my forecast for that.
Gonna go full Archer, huh?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, so does that make Jester Pam or Tunt?
Cheryl.
Okay.
Caleb is Cyril.
Bo is Archer, of course.
Yeah.
Does
that make Yasha Lana?
Yeah, I guess it works.
Caduceus would be Ray.
Well, it would have been Molly, but yeah. Which would have been a better fit. But yeah, that works. Oh no. Oh no.
All right.
Do you want demons? Because this is how you get demons.
He says as he points at Ford.
Oh man.
So here's a question. Serious question.
Okay.
Ford has exhibited the ability to summon a demon and create an undead specter thing. How does this sit with Caduceus?
Not well. Seeing as he turned that specter twice.
Do we see a discussion between them regarding this? I mean, they've had a discussion. Caduceus has said, you've got to find out about this, but make sure you make, Does Caduceus see the summoning of the demon as he's going deeper?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't think there's any other way to take it.
Yeah.
I think... Does it come down to a confrontation?
Which, in our leadership talk, we had Caleb, Ford, not with Caleb, Chester with Ford, Bo, the person they've both talked to about keeping each other accountable, being the fulcrum.
Yeah.
Where does that put Caduceus? I think these actions of Ford's move him towards Caleb's side.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Just in that, whole...
The only...
I know it's been kind of a non-issue with the leadership, but I think we need to keep an eye on that, because at some point something's going to happen where people are going to take sides.
And it may be this week.
This is going to be said breakdown.
Yeah, I think so. And this underwater voyage
Yes.
is probably going to be it. In some ways, it depends on what they're fighting.
Yeah. So they go to where they believe that Vandrin's ship went down.
Yep.
They send Octopus Frumpkin down. He finds a ship.
Yes.
They believe it is the ship.
Which is what I was about to ask you.
Let's make a very specific point. We are not guaranteed this is Vandrin's ship at this point. We are in roughly the right location, and it is a ship that matches the right description, I think.
So there's argument. Okay, things that happened in that sequence. Ford described the ship, named it. Naming the ship. Detect object says you have to be familiar with the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Wishy-washy if this ship would count. So point one in your favor.
Yeah.
Point in the other favor. After the hour that they spend looking, or 2 hours, I don't remember, hour or 2 hours,
Mhm.
down on the bottom looking, Matt narrates to Ford that he sees a very familiar silhouette. Point that it's the right ship.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it could go either way.
But yeah, and I'm definitely at that point too. I'm just saying you can't say 100%
but just because it
it's
is the ship doesn't mean the crystal's there.
or that they're going to be happy with what they find.
Yes.
Um,
and I honestly don't think the crystal's there.
Let's rewind a little bit because I think it's going to play into this week.
Okay.
Before they go down, Jester and Ford have a conversation.
Yes, that was the other RP moment.
And Jester says, Ford, do you think if you find him, you'll stop talking like him? And it's been made very clear that she knows more about him than the rest of them, that she was traveling with him before they met up with Bo, which was in session 0 off stream.
Well, and it's not actually the first time Jester has mentioned that.
No, it's not.
The first time was real quick, and there was a lot of conversations happening around the table.
Well, has she mentioned Vandrins?
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that even. Because I know she's mentioned accents, but...
It was the episode of the downtime.
Okay.
It was in the confusion of when was happening what and when Ford left and came back. If my memory is correct.
Ford says, I don't know, maybe. So, and that feeds into that thing, and we've talked about it, and the whole interwebs has been a buzz about it this campaign. Because ever since that first dream, in the dream, he spoke with a British accent. And he slipped back into that accent multiple times.
Yeah.
And it's intentional because that's Ford's real voice.
Yeah. So, yeah.
The Texas draw is Vandrin.
And we have the 30 cannonballs.
Yes.
And powder.
The biggest takeaway, Not has access to 30 cannonballs and powder for them.
They took 4.
Yeah.
That
just means he's got extra shot to play with, or extra powder to play with.
Yes, except that. Because I was thinking about this.
Okay.
Near the end of the episode as they were sort of going through that. Normally you would have to consider those things lost. Because they're using them to weigh them down.
Yeah.
So
the cannonballs.
Yeah.
But not the powder that went
No.
for each shot.
But they have a transmutation wizard with them.
That's true. Who transmuted a knife into the...
Yeah. I want these to be wood now. Now they're afloat.
Yeah.
Now they're back. They set it back on the ship. Poof. Now they're iron again.
Yep.
So in theory, they could also salvage all of the cannonballs, if there are any.
I mean, that will take a while. It won't... Because
it's a 10-minute ritual, I think? Or it might be an hour.
Yeah.
But it can be a good size thing.
Right. Well, I mean, especially if it's a ritual. But he's also got the transmuter ability, which takes a minute per something, per so much.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like if they could just collect all these cannonballs in a heap, he can do all of them.
Okay.
Turn them all into wood.
He would have to do one at a time?
I mean, 6 of one, half dozen of another, however you narrate it. But
it's still the same amount. And
yeah.
I'd have to look. I don't remember what, but there is a
limit. Yeah.
A time per.
Yeah.
And so
it depends on how long they have by the time they're finished.
Right.
So we've sort of been going on that it's probably Sea Hag or a coven of sea hags. It's kind of low CR for where they're at.
Yeah. 2 if it's a sea hag, 4 if it's a coven of sea hags.
Yeah. You mentioned undead, and
yeah,
what if Vandrin is that Deathlock?
Yeah. You know.
Does that become sort of a Davy Jones kind of a thing, where the patron denied him a reward of the afterlife for his actions fighting against this, bringing him back, and said, "No, you're staying on the mortal plane."
Could be. Yeah, it could be those. Could be the Aboleth.
That's. I mean,
to me, that's becoming more and more likely.
Okay.
Not that I have any in-game comments or anything, but just like with the sea hags being too low, and I think undead is pretty likely here. But I think, the more you've talked about it, and the more I think about it, I'm like, yeah, I can see this. Yeah, I can see this. So you're at least converting me on that theory.
I'll take it happily. The other possibility is Marrow or Salguin.
Yeah.
We saw Marrow around one of these crystals before.
Yes.
Worshipping it. So it could be Marrow that they find.
Mm-hmm.
And a large number of Marrow would be an interesting encounter, I think.
Yeah.
Or even Sagwan. Yeah, I don't think the Cloven Crystal is at the ship. No matter what.
No, I think we're going there to get closure for Ford.
Okay. Yeah, I see that.
I think that's what this is. I mean, I think they're saying, hey, what if it's there? But I don't think it is.
Yeah, see, I think the crystal that Ford has was Vandrin's.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Especially the vision.
Yeah.
It was almost like a post-cognition when he touched the crystal.
Yeah.
Of that particular crystal's past.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how I interpreted that whole thing as well. So yeah, I don't think they're going to find the crystal there. So, now I'm drawing a blank on his name. The guy that blew up the ship. Ford's nemesis.
Sabian?
Sabian, yes. We have speculated that Sabian may be one of these.
Yeah. Either for Ugatoa or for one of the other two.
Yes. What if he's not?
Okay, what are you thinking?
What if he is a blood hunter? Or a member of the what Dr. Dranzel was, the smiling...
Oh, yeah, the Golden Grin.
Yes, the Golden Grin. What if he's actually somebody who's actively working to stop the agents of Uk'otoa?
Okay, you want to go there. What if he's another expositor? And is why the Plank King, your theory that they're the ones that put the current Plank King in that position.
Yeah.
So, lots of things could be there. Kind of sad that my Shari theory didn't pan out. I thought that
we had no evidence of it.
No, but it would have been a nice tie-in, and it would have been a nice... It would have been a nice bow on things,
Yeah.
But yeah, that is officially in the crapper.
Yeah.
Not that we're not going to see a Shari. We may, but
I think we have to. at some point.
Yeah, there's a lot of elemental stuff going on, so at some point we will have to.
Whether we see Keyleth or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we see somebody. And I think we go visit the Water Ashari. Anything else?
Yeah, no, not really. I think we've pretty much covered the majority of it. Speculations for next week. I'm going to go out there, and this is more what my heart wants than necessarily what I think, but it was foreshadowing, and Ashley will be there.
Okay, I will agree.
I think the smart money is on undead. Whether there's a deathlock there or not,
Okay.
I think the smart money is on undead. Order for the three. Order of probability in my eyes. Undead, Marrow, Aboleth.
Okay.
I think that, well, I will say I guarantee there's going to be some kind of combat under the water.
Oh, yeah.
You don't go down there that deep and not take advantage of it.
Yeah. It's a rare environment to adventure in because of all the things that have to fall into place to get there.
Yeah.
And the sea is dangerous.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Actually, here's something before we get too far into that. Deshilla in her hungry eye and serving up. Does Deshilla have the other crystal?
So, I don't
That's
know.
where they thought it was. That's where Avantika thought it was.
So, Avantika thought the crystal was in the shipwreck of Vandrin's ship because it was Vandrin's ship. Deshilla is separate from Vandrin.
They were going to Deshilla, though, for the other crystal.
No, where they were diving is her... Where Vandrin's ship went down is the realm of Deshilla.
Okay.
It's one and the same place, but they are not. So the lyric would make sense. And okay, so in light of that, here's my speculation for the arc of this next episode. There will be an encounter with undead at the ship.
Okay.
Wherein Vandrin will be there in some capacity, whether as a deathlock, revenant, or Death Knight maybe, or even a specter.
Okay.
They search the ship before or after the confrontation with Vandrin. It's not there.
Okay.
But the agents of Deshilla will have been there.
Okay.
Or will come there, drawn by their combat with the undead.
Okay.
And they will, if that hungry eye is the cloven crystal, then that's how they get it.
Okay.
It will be incidental.
Yeah. I posed that way to see what you would think. Here's what I think. I don't think it's the cloven crystal.
Yeah.
I think that it may be an apricot tree down there. I think that that area is part of guardian, one of the seals for the Hungry Eye, Uk'otoa.
I'm almost... I was going to say I'm like 90% certain that that's not true. And as I was about to say it, my certainty dropped.
I'm going to call that my wild speculation.
Okay. But I also don't think that the eye spoken of in the song is the cloven crystal.
Okay.
My read on that is, and this is why the sea hags remain like
hag eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The notion of destiny playing a role in this is increasing.
Okay. Here's a question for you then. So a coven does not have to include all hags. Could it be 2 sea hags and a deathlock in the form of Vandrin forming a coven?
Yeah.
Or Deshilla as some kind of undead. We don't know. She may have been some kind of caster of some sort.
Yeah.
Which would bump them back up to possibility.
Yeah. That's true. The other possibility,
Okay.
and this would be an odd choice, maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. A storm giant.
Okay.
And here's the evidence for that.
Okay.
Flimsy as it is.
It's what we specialize in.
Yeah. The night the ship blew up, it was storming.
Okay.
That same area. They come into the area. Storming. Yasha serves the Stormlord.
Yeah.
Yasha was compelled to come to the Menagerie Coast.
And then out to an island.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So maybe there's a storm giant there.
Yeah.
Who targets, when she can, only evil ships, pirate ships.
And they're on a ship known to be an evil pirate ship.
Mm-hmm. So.
Okay. Okay.
And a storm giant is level appropriate as well. But storm giants are usually good. So that's why I say it's kind of a long shot, except unless there's a tribe of storm giants that live in that region who have taken up the cause to protect the world, to protect the sites of the Uk'otoa prison. Yeah. And maybe they can help in some way, inspire, educate, what have you. Maybe whatever information they have is imperative for Yasha to have.
Yeah.
To help the Stormlord. Although I don't know how much of the overarching human pantheon or humanoid pantheon influences giants in Tal'Dorei. Yeah. I don't think Matt has written anything about giants, the Ordning, and the gods of Tal'Dorei. When giants exist.
Yes.
But we haven't had a lot of interaction.
Yes.
With their culture.
Yeah.
So that's why I say it's flimsy, super long shot. So I'll hang my speculation on that.
Okay.
Storm giants.
Storm giants.
Although, if it's an aboleth, I'm still going to say I was right because I've been saying that for a long time.
Yeah. No, to be fair. I mean, you brought up aboleth with less evidence.
Yeah.
So
So they search the ship, confront Dashilla, presumably.
Mm-hmm.
We assume they live, or enough of them live to get back to raise the dead ones.
Right.
They get to the resupply port. Starts with a B.
Right.
And I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, they get there. One thing I've been wondering is how if Matt is going to use any of the UA that came out.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Do you think he's going to use the UA on ships?
I think. I'm not going to say. I was about to say I think he should, but should is too strong of a word. I think
he will be encouraged.
It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Especially since, like, looking at it, he could know exactly how much damage the ship took, how much damage the sails have taken.
Yeah.
And they were, my criticism of the UA was they didn't go into enough detail of the design of the ships.
Right.
And how much these things should cost.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the other thing. So another loose end.
Okay.
The treasure they took from that ship.
Yeah.
Presumably it's still on the boat. Minus what they gave to the Plank King.
Right.
Which was 500 gold, I think.
Around there, yeah.
Which means the take was 1,500 gold. So there's still 1,000 gold aboard ship.
Yeah.
If not more.
Plus whatever they haul up from the wreckage they're going to.
Yeah, and Dashilla. I think Dashilla is going to be the first major monster treasure hoard.
Yeah.
They're going to hit. The Marrow was a small one. They got a few magic items there. And the presumably a compatriot of Vecna's lab was another one where they had a bit of a treasure hoard.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't classify either of those as actual hoards.
No. But Dashilla definitely is going to have a hoard.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be a big one.
Yeah. She's pulling down pirate ships, yeah.
Okay. Last minute, I just had a crazy idea. Because I just watched the Maori intro video for Civilization 6.
Okay.
And watching it, I was like, oh man, this is Moana. Moana had the crab.
Mm-hmm.
The song mentions a claw.
Yeah.
What if what they face is some sort of giant crab that collects treasure?
I can see that. Yeah, we were all taking claws as, claws, but it could be claw.
Yep.
I like that.
They love Lin-Manuel Miranda.
And I'm not ashamed
and
to
I'm
say
shiny.
I'm not ashamed to say I'm a fan of Moana. It was a good flick.
I like that movie too. But that's it for us tonight, guys. We're going to go enjoy Marisha and Travis on Talks.
See you guys.
See ya.